Hello, hello, it's Bernadette. So, we're going to talk about the need to do shadow work and what's been happening this month. Thought I'd check in with you guys and see how you're doing. The energy has been intense the entire month, and it's certainly not letting up. There's still some more intensity to come. So, I'd like to see how you guys are doing and just check in with you. It's been a wild ride, right? We have a full moon lunar eclipse coming in a few days, like on the 17th. We have a big event. We have lots of astrological events all month, but if you're in my hidden wisdom, you got the full forecast, so you're prepared. You know all of what's going on and what's coming up for you this month. But I wanted to jump on tonight and just kind of talk about what the feeling's been. It's been pretty intense for a lot of people. You know, you may be recognizing that something just doesn't feel right and something feels out of balance and you haven't been able to move forward through it or haven't been able to really kind of get clear on what your action steps are to move forward or move through it. Don't judge yourself for that. Some of you may be having some self-doubt, confusion, like lack of clarity, or maybe you're just feeling kind of stuck and you recognize that there's areas that need improvement. You just don't know what to do to improve. So understand that through today and even tomorrow, you may not have that clarity, but it's coming. You are going to feel more clear after tomorrow because of the astrological alignments. They will help you get some clarity as to what you need to do to take the next step. Here's the thing, you're not going to have all the steps right now. That's one thing that like Spirit's been hammering me on is stop trying to get to the end of the story and get the full big outcome. You just have the vision. What's the next step? And what are you capable of right now? And that's something that I have to work on a lot. Hi, Andrea on YouTube. How are you? Who else is watching? Say hello. So, lots of stuff going on for all of us right now. And I know for me, the last 24 to 48 hours. Hi, Sarah. It's good to see you. For the last 24 to 48 hours, I kind of been in a weird place in my head. Tell me if any of you have been experiencing a lot of thoughts, um, like self-reflective thoughts mixed with lots of ego stuff. Like, and feeling like, what am I doing? Are any of you going through that right now? Like, I have a picture, although it needs to be tweaked, like the next version or iteration of my life right now. I'm still building a new vision post cancer, post chemo, um, because the vision that I've been walking towards since April has been to go into remission. Like, that's been my big thing. people people are asking me, hi Kim, people are asking me like, are you seeing clients one-on-one yet? And I'm like, no, not yet. Like in person for biomagnetism and stuff like that. I'm still living mostly in my little healing hut in here. I still have my medical bed and I'm staying in here because I'm only 3 weeks post chemo and I have another infusion and yada yada, and my immune system's just it's not built up, right? So, and the kids are all working and going to dance. Like Addie went to some big dance master class today with one of her favorite influencer dancer people. So she's around a bunch of people that are strangers. And of course, you know, I don't want them to stop living their lives, but I don't want to be in the same air all the time. So I'm out here where it's safe. Spend a lot of time outside too. So Sarah's saying, yeah, it's been wild. Yeah. So there's a reason for it. There really is. From an astrological perspective, there's a reason why we are seeing where things are out of balance in our lives. There's a reason where we're seeing things that we need to fix that maybe we didn't fix or haven't resolved completely or healed completely over the last several weeks, several months, and even several years, right? We're going to see on the world stage, all the places where there's big cracks. And while we can't take on all of the world's problems, although we like to think we can change the world if we work on ourselves and we heal what's broken within ourselves. So that time of what to do is coming. The clarity's there. But right now we're in that time where we're seeing our shadows. Right now we're just seeing like, oh, doesn't feel right. It feels off, but we don't have the clarity of like exactly what it is per se or exactly what the next step is. So, the first thing I'm going to tell you is you are going to have to do some inner work, which simply means either go work with someone like me or go to therapy, whatever. Like it's easier when you have someone on the outside because they can see things that you can't see about yourself. Seriously. I'm actually told my palliative team a couple months ago, they wanted to know if I wanted to go to counseling. I'm like, not right now because my brain is just still so fried from the chemo. Seems like a waste of time and money. But after, yeah, and I was talking to my dad about it today, and I was like, uh, woke up thinking it would be good to see somebody, um, because cancer changes you. When you go through chemotherapy, it does change you. There's a lot of things that I didn't think about or worry about before that I have to be mindful of now. So I'm probably going to go for the sake of two. Again, I'm creating the next iteration of the vision for my life. What does it look like for the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? I need a vision to move towards. Not that I'm going to get it all to happen right away, but what's the next step for me? So I am rebuilding a vision because, like I said, I had a pretty short vision of just hit remission, like be cancer free, and beyond all of the treatments and all of those things. And I'm not even there yet. I'm still working towards that. Meanwhile, I need to build another vision for my life, for my business, right? I'm not willing to work as many hours as I used to, so that's a big one that's gonna change. So what is it for you that feels off? Some of you may be feeling like some of your engagements, obligations are out of balance or out of whack. If so, get clear on what those are, like journal about them. You don't have to have the solution of how to fix it right now, but you do need to be aware of it because in the upcoming days, especially as we move past this full moon eclipse, and some of you may have already seen what's coming to a close for you. Um, and while it may not have closed out yet, you can see what's closing out for you come that full moon eclipse that's happening on the 17th, or you're aware that something's coming to an end. Something's changing. You guys feel it? It does feel like something's changing. It does feel like a lot needs to change and a lot needs to be fixed and a lot is happening all at one time and there's a whole lot of overwhelm going on for everybody. I get that. But just understand, while you may not know exactly what you need to do to fix it, right now you just need to know what feels off. Take note of it and don't just think about it. Like get it onto paper. I always tell people journal. Your journaling is a way to dump your brain and it tells your subconscious like it's stored safely. You can let go of it so you don't have to keep rehashing. It doesn't have to be in the forefront of your mind. You can make space. And when you dump something out into a journal and it saved, your brain, for whatever reason, your mind will release it. And sometimes we just need to journal, journal, journal until we have nothing more to say just to calm our thoughts down. And I keep seeing people having posts about anxieties on the increase and mind chatters on the increase. And I know for me, there's been a lot of inner chatter, right? Hello, Melly from Adelaide. Been a lot like in my head, especially today. Like I woke up. I was like, man, a lot going on in my little noggin. And while I'm super reflective, it was more focused on what things I can't do. I'm like, okay, being in the mindset person that you are, you know that this isn't productive. So I sat down with my journal for quite a while And I sat with my journal in prayer and meditation, talking to spirit, and was just like, all right, what am I not seeing? Right? What is it that I'm not seeing? And why is my head in this circle right now? Focusing on what I can't do, focusing on what I've lost over the last several months with cancer. Thank you. This is helpful. Things got turned upside down in my world for a lot of people. And I feel you, Andrea, like I feel you. For a lot of people, like I'm seeing so much going on with so many people, and it is overwhelming. Social media right now is getting really overwhelming because of politics, because there's so much heaviness going on in the world that we need sometimes to remember, like there's always a positive for every negative. There is. We can balance that, and the great balancing is happening. It's just not happening yet, right? It's just not happening yet. For some of you, it's going to be easier depending on how much work you've done on yourself. And for some of you, you've been so busy. Something just happened. Like my stream just did a weird cutout. That was very weird. Um, oh, my internet. Can you guys see and hear me okay? My internet's being uber weird. I already talked to Spectrum about it, so hopefully we stay connected. But anyways, some of you are feeling that. Some of you are feeling like, oh my God, you know I have to work on getting rid of things that are stressing me out. I know I have to make changes, whether it's to your diet, to the people in your environment. I mean, that's a big one right now. A lot of us are seeing like there's some people in our environment that are not helpful or not healthy, you know, and it's scary to let people go. And it's scary to go through change. I don't know what it is for you. I'd love to know what it is for you. But I know that this time period that we're in is causing a lot of questioning and doubting in literally like, what am I doing? What am I thinking? What am I not doing? There's so many things that we're all kind of going through. And just know that if that's where you're at, that's exactly the energy that we're in. Just the energy that we're in. So try not to judge it too much. One of the things that Spirit keeps telling me is that if I feel overwhelmed, I need to back it down. Hi, Maria. Thank you. Sending love to you too. I need to back it down, one task at a time, one thought at a time, instead of trying to just arrive. We have our visions, we have our desires, we want to manifest an intentional life, but we want to get there right now. And that impatience because we want to get out of discomfort, and things just aren't that comfortable right now on this planet. There's so many things that if you're sensitive, if you're an empath, if you care about others, that you see how do not know why my internet is freaking out. Um, I told you guys a few months ago, like we're in the deconstruction phase before we rebuild. But individually, we have to go through it right now. We just have to go through it. And the clarity's coming. I'm telling you, the clarity's coming. In the next couple of days, you'll feel more clear. You won't feel as burdened. And this time, the last week, it's felt very much like an overwhelm and a heavy burden or a heavy weight. Some of you may have been feeling more tension in your shoulders and your neck. Tell me if that's you. Like you're feeling like extra tension, even though you don't feel like you're clenching up. You're probably carrying extra tension because there's a lot of tension on the planet right now. There just is, especially here in the US. So I want to invite you to journal, talk to someone that you can trust that feels safe. If you're in my Gold Factor community. If you're in that community, you are welcome to share. That is a private community. No one outside of that community can see what you're posting. And you're safe there. Like if anyone has a negative comment or whatever, I will delete it and remove them from the group. I think it's important that we have community, all of us right now, and that we have a support system where we can openly, authentically share what's going on with us, some of our thoughts, some of our questions. Many of you have questions that are unanswerable right now, right? Like, I have questions of the universe that I'm like, I want it answered. And there's no certainty in the answers, right? I can guess at what's going on. I can put a positive spin on the answers, but I don't know for sure. For sure. None of us do. There's so many changes happening on this planet right now. There's earthquakes and fires and landslides, and then just utter and complete madness when it comes to politics right now and policy, like, and laws and women being pulled back 50 to 100 years when it comes to our voices and our rights. And so many girls, young girls and women are feeling like, what's happening? Right? So I just want to tell you, no matter what you see, it's not exactly the reality of what's going on in the realms that we can't see. And there's always a purpose. So whatever uneasiness you're feeling right now, write it through. Just write it through. This too shall pass. I have to tell myself this every day, sometimes multiple times a day as I'm recovering. I wrote a post. I took a shower this morning and I was drying my head with my little towel. And I was like, why is there a dog hair stuck to the top of my head? And I actually thought I cut it. But then I came on camera and I'm like, oh my God, it's still there. Do you guys see? I don't know if I can get it into the blue. There's a single gray hair that's on the top of my head that is longer than all of my peach fuzz. See it right here? And I thought I cut it. I grabbed the scissors and I swore I cut it. Maybe there were two, but it's still there. It's the only hair that is grown out. It's gray. I'm like, have to have my kid do it and have Brindy do it. I was laughing so hard because had the towel and I'm like trying to get the dog hair off because Milo, our golden retriever, has hair everywhere, everywhere. Penny has some white hairs too. So it's not unusual that their hair will get on my towel and I'll dry my hair and there'll be a hair on there, but it's actually my hair. I'm just one single hair that's like about almost an inch tall. So ridiculous. So I laughed about that today because you got to laugh about things. You got to smile and you got to reach out to people when you're not smiling and when you're having a hard time, right? So just know, you guys, this time that we're going through right now, as much as it is intense, it is going to calm down. Tomorrow is a day where Chiron kind of kicks in and helps. The wounded healer planet kicks in and helps and starts to show us the way forward and through the issues and the shadow work that we need to be doing. It's not the completion of it by any means, but it's going to give you a little more clarity on what you need to really do to start to heal your issues. And some of you may need help, not easy when you're in the echo chamber of your head and you've got subconscious beliefs and limiting programs and beliefs that are holding you back that you're still giving into, that you can't see, that are affecting you. So sometimes you need help. It has been tough, Brenda's saying. Yeah, I know. I'm here to root you guys on and encourage you, literally encourage you. The number one thing you can do right now for yourself and for the planet to make a change is to be kind. Be kind to yourself. Don't judge yourself. Whatever you're feeling right now, whatever you're thinking about what you're feeling right now, like, just let those be passing thoughts. Don't put labels on them. I think sometimes we over label ourselves, right? We look for explanations because we want to cure something, heal something, fix something, finalize something. Like, now, it doesn't work that way. Healing journeys, whatever, whether they be physical, mental, emotional, they have their own process. So we don't always get completion now. We have to go through the process. And in that process, it's a journey of discovery and learning. You'll learn new things about yourself. And as long as you're not putting yourself down for it, right? Like, oh, I should have it together by now. So many times I hear people, especially my age, right? I'm going to be 58 in a couple of months. And I'm like, man, what have you learned, Bernadette? You should be farther along. These are the things my brain tells me, right? My ego kicks in. Is like, you should be farther along. You should know more. You should be stronger, better, nicer, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. We all have that negative voice in our head that wants to come in and say it's not enough or it's not good enough right now. And the reality is it's perfectly fine. Wherever you are, whatever you're going through, whatever you have to handle right now, while it may be hard, may not be comfortable, may not be wanted, desired, you have within you exactly what you need. And if you don't have enough strength or wherewithal to get through it, reach out to somebody. Somebody cares. Y'all are welcome to message me. You're welcome to DM me. Seriously, I may not answer right away. When I'm up to it, I will. And again, if you're in my group, my community, post in there. Post in there and ask for help. See if anyone wants to chat. If we keep to ourselves and we think we have to do it all alone, that's like the first mistake. You don't have to do it alone. In fact, it's easier when you don't do it alone. When we share our trials and our tribulations and we get real and raw with people and we realize everybody has growth and problems, and we're all just trying to make our way through this big invisible mess of things at times, and we're all trying to be better, do better, think better. You realize I'm just like you and you're just like me. Really, the heart of things. That's all it is. So that's all I wanted to say. I just thought I'd jump on, encourage you, and let you know whatever you're going through right now. It's tough. It's hard. Lots of energy. Overwhelming. Exhausting. Exhausting. I don't know about you guys. Like I can kind of pin mine down to, well, you're still recovering from chemo, right? But I don't think that's all of my exhaustion right now. I don't. I think part of what I'm going through has to do with there's just a ton of exhausting issues that are on tap. And the planets, I mean, we've got so many planets in retrograde this month. The big outer planets are in and they're not moving. They're in retrograde and they're not moving, which amplifies their energy. And so there's a lot, like Saturn is a big player this month, Pluto, a big player this month, Uranus, a big player this month, Neptune, big player this month, and all of the aspects. Truly, it is. If you're in Hidden Wisdom, go back and watch that forecast, because the astrology part of it will help you understand why things feel so out of sync and out of whack. And yet it's not. It's highlighting a whole lot at one time. So my advice to you is take it slow, journal, talk to someone, but try to keep it positive. Like for everything that you think is wrong, try to find the blessing or the lesson in it, like the place where you can learn, even if you don't have the answers, try to find that. And then if you need more help, like I said, I think last time I did a live, I do have an opening for a private client. And I do have time right now. Like I am taking emergency sessions from people, like one-off sessions. If you want someone to talk to, I'm just not taking ongoing private clients. I only have spot for one ongoing private client right now. But I do take one-off sessions. So if you need someone to work through something with you, we can pinpoint it pretty quick. Just DM me, get in touch with me. I have a PET scan come Monday. And then I have my first immunotherapy treatment on the 23rd. But aside from that, things are moving. And I have my own shadow work to do. And part of my shadow work right now, to be perfectly honest, is like I'm getting close to 60. As much as I feel like I'm not that old, like that number doesn't resonate in my head. Like I feel more like I'm 40 or 30 in my head. So like knowing that my 58th birthday is coming up in a couple months, I'm like, how do I it just build a vision on that when I don't feel that? But I think I just remove the number. Has nothing to do with the number, right? Yeah, I got to do things differently because my body's got to rebuild. I've got a year of rebuilding my body. Honestly, it's going to take a year to get everything back to where it was prior to chemo. And I'm not in remission yet. So I have an ongoing journey there too. But what do I want to do? What's on my bucket list? What do you want to do? What's on your bucket list? What are you creating? What are you filling your time with? Where are you making a difference? Are you being kind to yourself and others? Can you be more kind? And right now, I don't know if you guys have noticed, we need to be more kind than I think we've ever been before because there's so much meanness and hatred and division out there that meeting that kind of energy with the same only makes it grow. So we got to be more kind. We got to be more forgiving. We've got to have more grace right now. But that starts with yourself first. Have it for you first instead of just taking care of everyone else, like you first. Okay? Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, Saturday. Enjoy your Sunday. Do something kind for yourself, even if that means getting a couple hours of extra sleep. Okay? And I will see you guys soon. I love you.